Welcome to What's for Breakfast, Lunch, or Brunch. And today is more herbs, less salt day. So, out in the garden, I'll bring this plate over here. Went ahead and cut some, these are garlic chives, right? And some parsley, flat leaf parsley, more flat leaf parsley, and more flat leaf parsley, and basil. Now cut off the parts that's trying to go to seed as well, because I wanted to keep growing as long as possible. So I'll probably put the little fragrant ends in the compost bin over here because it smells like basil, and use the other in the meal for today. Let's just pinch that off. Yep. So be right back. I'm just going to throw those over into the compost. The flower part. I haven't looked up if you could eat the flower parts of basil. I'm not even sure. That might be something that I'll look into today. Or if you know if you could eat the flowers of the basil, let me know. And I'm going to grab, actually, let's see, order operation. I'm going to rinse this first. I got my lunch in the toaster. And for lunch, what we did was, yesterday we had, because we eat a lot of rotisserie chicken, so we, bright and early in the morning, as my husband was getting ready for work, we just went ahead and put some chicken, the carcass part, the bone, skin, whatever was left over, because we just keep it in a bag in the freezer too, and a crock pot of water. And then what we did is just pour, crock pot with water, set it on low, and let it cook. I think it was already from like 4 in the morning up until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then what we did was we took the leftover, we took the stock. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. Thinking of what I'm saying here. Took the stock and added to a pot. And we had some cream cheese. And in the previous videos, when I was making the bagels with, like the chive and onion and regular bagel, the cream cheese, the spread, that comes in a little tub. So I took all the cream cheeses and added to the chicken stock and mixed it around, put some garlic and onion powder in there. And then we added some bow tie pasta that was really al dente. And what we did was let the liquid kind of absorb into that. Just kept adding some stock to it with chicken and broccoli. And the broccoli was cooked in the stock as well. Delicious, quick and easy. And that's what we had for dinner. And then we took the leftovers for lunch. Now here it is. Here, let me see if that's hot. Oh, it's getting there. So, more salt, haha, more herbs, less salt day. So let's cut some herbs up here on top of this. And I'm going to put it back in there because I still got to toast my bread. I'm going to put a little bit of, now these are just onion chives, garlic onion chives that grow in our potted plant outside. So we got some of those. And then I'm going to cut some up in a little bowl. And don't laugh at this little bowl. It's been through a lot. I'm just going to continue to go through a lot. We're going to use some of this to spread on top of our piece of garlic bread. I'm just cutting this up. Trying to use all that we can from the garden before, you know, fall is getting here. It's been raining last 2 days, and I can already tell that it's starting to get colder outside. I do not like the cold whatsoever. Body doesn't like the cold whatsoever. So I can definitely tell when the shift starts from, you know, the seasons. Now we're just cutting up a little flat leaf parsley. I hope you all are eating something good today and using up especially what you have leftovers. And I don't know if you agree or not, but pasta dishes, anything with pasta in it, is so much better, I think, you know, the following day or two after, because it gives a chance for all the flavors to marinate together. And as you can see, there's no kind of rhyme or reason here. Just cutting. Now I usually don't put the stems in when I'm doing flat leaf parsleys, because I think it just takes longer for the item to, you know, your dish to get soft if the stems are in it. That's just me probably. So I just cut around it. And of course, any kind of stems, you know, leaves that don't make it off will go right. Oh, toaster oven's going off. We'll go right back into the compost bin. This is the basil. I'm just rough chopping it. And what I'm going to do is put it in there and let everything start to kind of release their flavors. Like I said, this is going to be spread on top of a piece of bread. I'm trying to think like how I'm going to do this as far as the bread is going, because I want this to be done at the same time. But you know, the bread needs to be in the broiler. So maybe, oh, this is going, I picked it, so we're gonna, from the pot outside, so I'm gonna use it all in there, whether I want to or not. It's gonna be a garlic chive, garlic onion chive, parsley, and basil on this piece of garlic bread. All right. Let's just filling it up. Let me grab my fork. Let's just move that around to kind of get it moistened up a little bit. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much hot. So, order of operation is, I'm going to set this, just scoot it off to the side here, because that is pretty much warm. And I want to get our bread out and put a little butter and the seasonings on there. Just to show you, I picked up this bread and it was on sale for $1.64. So that's not bad. And you get, that's how much it originally was, $3.49. You get 6, what are these called? Sub buns. So I'm going to use that half of one if I can get inside the bag here. And they're just in the refrigerator. And then what we'll do is, if it looks like we're not going to use it all up before it get ready to, you know, go bad, we will just put them in the freezer. All right, I turn that on boil. Let's see here. I like the texture of it. Firm but soft. And I think do you see the indecisiveness? I don't know if I want this part of the bread or if I want this part of the bread. I think I want I want this part. I want that part. Yeah. All right. So wrap. Let's see. If I would have thought about it, I should have took the butter out earlier. It sort of got a little soft, but oh well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? All right. Throw that in the compost. And this little pitiful looking piece of butter. It's all right. Still gonna use it. Oh, that's not too bad. It's warm in the house. I always keep my house really warm, so it won't take long for it to start to melt. And if I have to, I'll just put that on there, and as the butter starts to melt down, then spread it. All right. And I'm going to put that in there and just wait for a minute before adding the rest of the, you see I don't like to waste anything. Let me just take that butter and get what's on the plate up. And I'm going to put that in the boiler and let it melt a little bit and spread it and put the chives on it. So we'll be right back. Okay. That was in there for maybe about a minute or two. Let's see if it spreads a little bit better. A little bit. I think it's melted down enough. All right. Do you ever just wonder, did I put enough butter? I don't want to make do, because once it gets nice and crusty from baking it, it'll add some more flavor, because I don't want to get it too buttery, because I want to use the you know, the juices from the and I don't want any of those herbs to go to waste. So let's see if we can get all of those out. What's today? Not national, more herbs, less salt day. More herbs, less salt day. All right. I'm going to put that back in the boiler and let those herbs get nice and toasty on top. Okay. Be right back. And while we're waiting on that, my husband went out and checked the girls this morning before work, and we finally got one tomato, first tomato of the season, that's turning red. So he went ahead and got that off the vine before the chickens or birds get to it. So we're going to eat that with our pasta. So I'll go ahead and get that sliced up. And I'm just going to add it right to the pasta. It's not a whole lot of tomato, but it's some tomato, right? And since the other ones are really green, that way it'll force me to use it up before it goes bad, because it's not going to make it until the others come in. So we'll go ahead and add that onto the pasta. Right, no fuss, just using what we got. And it's funny how these little pieces are just going to turn into a meal. Now I usually take, if it's real seedy, got a lot of seeds in it like that, I won't put those on there. All right. There's that tomato. If you're looking for a food stylist on their plate, I'm not very good at that. I just put it together, as long as it tastes good, I'm eating it. So, all right. I'm going to go over there and check now. While that's in there, we have 3 more of these strawberry bar cookies. Now, I want to try that. Now they smell fantastic, and they're good, but I prefer the regular fig bar cookies over these because these are really sweet. So what I do is make some espresso cream coffee, right? Some espresso. I'll put this and then put some espresso in it and cream, and it'll be bitter. It'll be really bitter. And I'll eat these last 3 for dessert, because once these are gone, we will not buy this particular one again, I don't think, because it's too sweet for us. Are they good? So if you like a strawberry bar cookie that's, it's got that more sweet, and the cookie part is really soft, which we do like with the Great Value brand. Really soft cookie. But if that's your thing, these are good. It's just at the sweetness level. I like mine a tad bit sweet on some things, and I can't eat these without having some kind of coffee with it or unsweetened green tea with it, because the sugar is a little bit too much for me. All right. So let me go over here and check and see if this. I was trying. Oh, you're getting hot. You're getting hot. All right. Well, while this is in there, let me figure out a drink. I think what I'm going to do is have some green tea, speaking of. Okay, it's funny. Every time I come back, I got something else. I opened the refrigerator. Oh, yeah, that bread is looking fantastic. I'm keeping an eye on it so I don't burn it. But I had some tea left over from last night. So, after I finished dinner, I just added more to it. So I'm going to have that leftover tea. And then I looked in there, and there was half of a jalapeno. So we're going to put that on there from our garden. And I'm going to put the whole jalapeno that hasn't been cut back. And then I was like, oh, what is that? My husband took burritos to work the other day and forgot his green chilies. So we're going to add that to the meal. See, just using whatever we got. I'm going to go over to get the bread out. Be right back. All right, there's the bread. Look how fantastic. And it smells wonderful in here. So there's my bread. And I'll probably eat that just by putting the tomato on there. Maybe slicing. Let me get those seeds. Oh, I'm trying to do too much here. Let's get those seeds out of there. Oh, no, no, no. I'm trying to light myself up early. So let's see. I notice if you get the seeds in that membrane out, it'll have a real mild flavor versus if you leave the seeds in there. So I'm going to get the seeds out, so that way it won't be hot. You'll get the taste of the jalapeno, but not the heat of the jalapeno. So there's that. All right. So now we're just using what we got, and we're going to go get the pasta output on there, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right. Feels like I'm all over the place today, but we're going to get it done. That's usually how a meal is sometimes, right? Just all over the place, but then it just kind of just all comes together right at the end. Well, that's how I feel like what's going on right now. All over the place, but it's going to come together right on the end. Here's some broccoli. Lots of herbs in there, which I'm digging it. Seemed like it was going to be a lot, but like I said, it starts out with an idea of what's in the refrigerator, what do I need to use up, and before you know it, it turns into a whole plate. Look at that, of food. And I didn't think it was going to be. This is a shareable amount here. All right, and since there's some left on the spoon, and what I'm going to do is, because I have the chilies, I'm going to see if that chilies is good on the pasta. If not, I'll spread it on the bread with some tomato and eat that separately. We'll just put that off to the side. All right, and there we have it. So we're going to have some tea, a piece of toast or bread. This is actually a sub roll, as you saw, split with some butter and herbs on it, jalapeno, tomato, and that's what I forgot to tell you. The chicken, we used the rotisserie chicken. As you can see, there's no chicken in this. We cooked the pasta separate, so it's just got the chicken bone broth stock and the cream cheese, the garlic powder, onion powder. It's got chive and onion cream cheese in there as well, because we're using up what's in the refrigerator, and broccoli. The chicken is separate. I'm not a big eat meat all the time fan, so I'm going to have it without the meat, and then my husband's is with the meat. He's going to have rotisserie chicken on his. And thanks for watching.